Hey guys, happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend and you dads had a wonderful Father's Day. A couple things I want to address. Um, Things that are going on and I know firsthand in my area, things I know right from sources in my area that I have, connections. I used to work in the medical field here, or people I know that work in certain industries here, and then a couple emails I'm getting about things. And then, of course, as I go through things, please let me know in the comments anything you're hearing or seeing in your area or you know firsthand. But as far as addressing, I still will get comments and emails, and everyone does, when I do certain reports or talk about certain things that, there's no shortages in their area. There's no food shortages. Okay, I mean, I don't know what else to tell people. Okay, stuff is stocked now. I get it. I feel like, a broken record about certain things. The only thing I know to say to people is the food you were seeing in the stores are last year's food. It's going to run out. There's not stuff to come behind that. And then when you're seeing a big, like pallets and big amount of stock coming into certain stores, I would say almost all of that, if not most of it, is these pallets and these shipping containers that were sitting in ports or boats or wherever for more than a year. All of a sudden, they're all starting to come in. That is why I tell people we are seeing things on the shelves with a much shorter expiration date. That's why I still, again, and I'll keep saying it, I just think by fall, there's going to be a big difference where we don't have any shortage of what's going on. You're going to start seeing that because this stuff is going to run out. And then with everything we've been seeing with the poultry and the cattle and everything else, you know what I'm talking about, the farming, the deaths, the culling, whatever, there's not anything to replace this stuff. I mean, or very little to replace this stuff. So, I don't know what else to say about that. I understand, and I'm just not in the mood to argue about it. I mean, take it with what you want. I mean, what does it hurt to be prepared? And honestly, if you're on these channels, what are you doing if you're not, you're not seeing that or know that in the future that's what you have to prepare for? And the worst case is, fine, nothing happens. Everything's just great. Okay, well, you're going to use this stuff anyways, right? So that's just my take on it. I mean, I just need people to understand that this is stuff that is from last year's food. I mean, they didn't go and magically make all your food a week ago and now it's all on the shelves. That's just not how that works. There's big shortages also with all the meats. We've talked about that, and that's getting worse and worse and worse. Things keep on happening. There's nothing to replace what's already, been butchered and in the stores and everything. As of course we talk about, there's, eggs. Of course there's going to be egg shortages. There's all these deaths from all these birds and everything else. But I have had two different people who are in that industry said a dozen eggs, just your regular eggs in the store. Now, when I buy eggs in the store, because my birds are gone and I'm having to substitute that right now, I do buy, organic, free range, different. So those are more expensive. The regular, just run of the mill eggs that you see in a store, a dozen, they said are going to be between $10 and $12 a dozen. So keep that in mind. And if you can only have one or two birds for eggs, just two, laying hens, I strongly encourage you to do that. Same thing with animal feed. They know me well at my local Tractor Supply, and I had done, I did a video or I talked about it on my community post, I'm not sure, but I had bought some chicken starter feed to replace these birds where my flock got killed, and they all started getting sick. All my new babies started getting sick, and I took the feed back. I got another one. It was, as soon as I opened it was the exact same thing. Took it back, and they told me they're having so many people return same thing, that it's either mold or their animals are getting sick. And it's not just with chicken feed, chicken starter, lots of different things. I mean, lots of different livestock feed they're having issues with. My question is, if they have such a large amount, and even locals said they're having a large amount seeing this, you do go on different forums online. I'm seeing people saying the same things in the last several months. I'm reading the same things. Why are they not doing recalls on that? Because they said they have had people's animals, their livestock and their chickens and stuff like that have died. They've gotten sick and died from the feed. They do all these food recalls and different things, like, that peanut butter that I haven't heard a single person get sick from that was eating from the jars that were, on that exact list. They recall everything and pull everything, but why are they not doing that if so many animals are getting sick and dying from different feeds? I don't know. That's just strange to me. But also on the whole poultry thing, Murray McMurray, Hoover Hatchery, there are tons of limits on their birds now. They don't have the amount of birds they have always had. There's a lot of limiting, or they're not available, that you don't usually see this time of year, because I know both of those companies well, and I went to go look for some meat butcher birds to go ahead and get in, and there's limits on a lot of different things, so keep that in mind. If that's something you do or thinking about doing, you're going to want to stay on top of that. I think they're going to run out of season before they usually do, how their amounts go. But anyways, and then we talked about different, all the different fires we've been seeing here in my state, North Carolina. There have been a lot of fires. I live in farm rural areas, and there's been several fires that are the local small farmers. A lot of them do livestock feed and different things like that. There's different crops they do. The fields aren't planted. I drive through them, I see them regularly, and they're not planted. So either they can't afford it, they're getting out of it, they're paid not to. I've seen there's been things in the news, several have burnt down. Again, it happens on local levels. We see things in the news and it's so far away, but it's going on around me also. And somebody emailed me, I don't remember who it was. Somebody emailed me that there was a turkey farm fire in Ohio. I have not done confirmation on that. If you know anything about that, they said a turkey farm in Ohio burnt down. It was all these turkeys. Well, that would not surprise me. So, the thing, even about the people talking about the stock that's in stores. I don't know if you've noticed, but I noticed that, you remember how you used to in the grocery stores, they wouldn't dare leave dented cans on the shelves. They would pull those. And I knew stock boys and different things, even, now they would had to go through, and if they saw them, they had to pull them. And I'm seeing tons of dented cans for at least a month or more now. They're just on the shelf, and I think it's just to fill up the spaces. But also I've gotten several cans well within their expiration date, best by date, especially in different soups. They are like pure rotten when you open them. I'm not talking about they're bubbling over like it's got botulism in, but they've gone sour, like they've been out in heat, or the temperature hasn't been controlled. I don't know, but I'm seeing that on several different cans I have opened a good amount over the last month or so. So keep that in mind. Again, I did see there was another meat recall, ground beef for E. coli. I think it's a company out of Oregon. I saw that had come out this morning. Raspberries were recalled, but I saw two different sources. One said only for Canada, and someone said, it was kind of nationwide here also, and it was for contamination of norovirus in fresh raspberries. If you've got any confirmation on that, let me know. And, I've been told, again, we've been seeing here, I've talked before about, we have potato shortages. We'll go through phases where you just can't, there's hardly any potatoes. There is going to be a potato shortage. Actually, behind me this morning, I have cubed and blanched, and I have potatoes in the dehydrator to put those back. So please, do what you can now. There's so much going on in every direction. I just don't think it's going to get better. I am not trying to fearmonger, here. I just still have people come and say to me, no, something very different is going to happen come this, November. And I'm not meaning to be ugly. So many people, not so many. I have a good amount that still think someone is going to come back or somebody is going to come along and save and fix all this and everything's going to be fine. Don't put your hope and trust in man for that situation. Not when this is global and so well planned and thought out for so long. This is gonna happen. It's gonna happen in different ways, and you see how it's going. I just want to encourage people to prepare, do what you can. If you have any information in your area or things I talked about, some of the things I didn't have, two things I didn't have confirmation on, let me know. Everyone, please stay well. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time.